Now how does that work in those video games where they just bring the gun down out of the screen and bring it back up and it's loaded again? Pretty cool trick. I'll have to use that one more often. Really cuts down on the reload time. I'm just pulling your legs, guys. I've actually got two of these Taurus PT111 G2s, the Millennium G2, here at the range today. You know, a couple of weeks ago I did that video on the Taurus Tactical 45 OSS 24/7 model. And that was really the first Taurus I'd had any experience with. And it kind of opened my eyes to the brand. So I decided I wanted to take a look at a more recent offering from Taurus. And I had a couple of friends step up. Both of them brought me one of these PT111s. They're pretty popular budget-minded carry guns. So I've had them here at the range for about a week, shooting them every chance I got, and decided today'd be a good day to take a look at them. All right, so let's get started here. Now, size-wise on this pistol, I kind of think of it as between a Glock 26 and a Glock 19. The slide is about identical in length, pretty much in width too, to a Glock 26, and the grip frame is closer to a Glock 19, so it kind of falls in between those two. It is a 12+1 capacity, shits with 2 steel magazines. Seem to be pretty good magazines. They are kind of hard to load the last couple of rounds, but I'm sure after they get broke in a while, they'll probably get better. Now, like those two other pistols I mentioned, it is a polymer frame pistol, striker fired. Unlike those two, it does have a manual safety. Now, that's probably a deal breaker for some of you guys, and for others, it's a must-have. So, you know, if you like a manual safety, this may be a little pistol you want to take a look at. Now, personally, I don't prefer a manual safety on a concealed carry handgun for myself. That's just a personal choice. But if I was going to carry one with a safety, I like this little safety. It's really easy to take off safe. It goes off in a positive fashion, kind of clicks into place real good. And you know, you do have to adjust a little bit to put it on safe, but it's super easy to take off safe. And that's what I like. Just set down motion with the thumb. Speaking of safety, the controls on this pistol are set up for a right-handed shooter. Of course, a lot of you lefties learn to shoot right-handed anyway, but I'm just saying, don't seem to be any, the safety's not ambidextrous, slide stop, the magazine release, none of that stuff seems to be ambidextrous. Not sure if you can change the magazine release around or not. Seems like I've heard of some people doing that, but I'm not certain on that. But either way, it does come set up for a right-handed shooter. You've also got your accessory reel there. If you'd like to mount lights or lasers or whatever it is you want to put on this gun, just keep in mind, you do have a relatively short space there, so make sure your accessory is going to fit before you go out and buy something for it. Now, got a nice set, in my opinion, of 3-dot sights. Pretty standard looking sights. Really easy to use. The rear is fully adjustable. They stand up high enough where I can see them good, but they're not like super tall sights or anything where they'll snag. Speaking of snagging, this gun has, it's really got a melted look to it. They've done a good job of rounding all the corners off. The slide looks good. You've got your rear serrations here to help you with the rocking of the slide, but overall it's really smooth, and that really makes it less likely to snag on something on your draw, and it also just makes it more comfortable to carry too. This grip frame, Taurus has really done a good job here as far as the texture. Man, it feels like it's got a set of Talon grips on it. This gun is practically new. The only time really it's been shot is what I've had it here this week, so you expect it to have a good sticky grip to it. But this one's older. It's been used quite a bit, and that grip's still there. It's still got some bite to it, some edginess. I like the way the grip feels. You've also got these, I guess you'd call them memory pads for your thumb and to place the rest of your finger when you're not on the trigger. You know, kind of nice just to have that there. Not a must-have, but nice that they had the foresight on a budget pistol to go ahead and put that on there. Now, I say budget pistol. I think these used to be quite a bit higher than they are nowadays. Prices really come down on these. Just a quick internet look today, before I got out here and done this video, I found them in 2 or 3 different places for $200 or less. Even Cabela's had it for $199.99. You know, Cabela's not known for having low prices, so I think the MSRP is like $319, but you can find these $200 and under if you just look around. It does have a loaded chamber indicator along the top here. When you've got a round in the chamber, this little mechanical arm sticks up. It's got red on it so you can see it visually, and of course, be easy to feel that sticking up there. Now the trigger on this pistol is not one of the greatest that I've ever shot, and if you watch any reviews on this thing online or read any written reviews, that's one of the gripes a lot of people have. I think some people play it up a little more than it actually is though. The trigger it's a little bit spongy, but it's not terrible. I've shot way worse triggers on much costlier guns. So it is a weak point if you're looking for one. The trigger's a little spongy. It also has, it's double strike capable, or second strike capable. What I mean by that is it's like a, kind of like a SA, I guess it is an SADA striker fire. You've got that first pull, you've got a shorter pull a little bit. You got a lot of take up there. But then if for some reason the round doesn't go off, you can go all the way out to get a reset and pull it again in kind of like a double action trigger. Now I know the owner's manual says not to dry fire these, but you kind of have to dry fire them if you want to take it apart and clean it. So I don't think a little bit of dry fire is going to hurt one. In fact, in my opinion, I don't think a lot of dry fire would probably hurt one. I think that owner's manual is just, you know, just written to be extra cautious. But always take the word of your owner's manual over something that I might say. Remember, you know, I'm just a guy here giving my opinions. So follow your owner's manual, but use common sense too. Now, we'll do a takedown of this little pistol, and I'll show you how it takes down. All right, guys, if you're wondering what that noise is, I don't know how bad it's picking up on this microphone, but my neighbor's bush hogging back in behind me here, cutting some grass. So, okay, we're gonna do this takedown, basically, because there's some conflicting information in the owner's manual. They kind of leave out a step. But anytime you do a takedown, guys, so simple. Take your magazine out. Make sure you've got no rounds in the chamber, in the gun, anywhere near the gun. Way too many accidents happen. You read about in the paper, somebody cleaning a gun and they somehow set it off. Somehow they pull that trigger when they shouldn't have. But anyway, I digress. The owner's manual, it tells you to pull the slide back about 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 inch or so, and pull the takedown bar here down, and then pull the slide off the frame. Well, it's not going to work. It leaves out the step. You kind of have to pull the trigger here. So pull down, pull your slide back a little bit, about 1/4 of an inch. Pull down on the takedown assembly or bar. Pull the trigger. Now you can push forward and take the gun apart. Don't know why they left that step out of the owner's manual, but I don't see it in there. So, and it maybe all of them aren't like that, but it's not in this one. So now you're down this far. Your dual recoil spring is captive, and this spring setup does a really good job taming the recoil. I know 9mm is not known for recoil, but in a pistol this small, it can certainly be snappy, and that's a pretty good setup for absorbing the recoil. And here's your barrel. And that's as far really as you need to go on a field strip takedown or just a simple cleaning. As far as I'm going to go out here on the range anyway. So put it back together just like you took it apart. Make sure your spring is centered up. It has to go into this channel. Here's a look inside. You can see, now this one's dirty, I've been shooting it, but you can see it looks pretty good even on the inside. Of course, the part that you see is going to look good, but even the inside stuff looks well deburred, and well machined. A little bit of fringing there on the plastic or the polymer, but not much at all. Looks pretty good. And you'll just slide your slide right back on. Here's your slide reels, front and back. Do this with my other hand. And you're ready to go again. There's it. Here's single action, what they call single action. And then if that doesn't go off, you can let it all the way out, reset, pull again. Now your single action reset is pretty short. That's not too bad. And like I say, I hear a lot of people really giving this gun a hard time about the trigger. But on either one of these, it's not that bad. It does, you know, it does break really far rearward toward the wall or toward this part. But, you know, other than that, it's not terrible. I've shot far worse. But I've already said that. I don't want to sit here and repeat myself. So guys, if you're in the market for a really affordable carry gun or home defense gun, something, you know, these, I saw one of those websites I was looking at today had them for $179.99. That's down into high point category there as far as money. And these, in my opinion, are a big upgrade from the high point. They're so much more concealable. You've got more capacity, less size. Just, you know, to me it's a big jump from the high point, but not much more money. So it might be something you want to take a look at. One thing I didn't mention, it does have a slide lock. Now this is a true slide lock. We can argue all day long on what this is called. Slide lock, side release, slide catch. Dozen names for it. This is a true slide lock. This takes a key. I don't have the key here with me, but you can lock this gun up tight, kind of like the locks on the Smith & Wesson revolvers these days. I don't care for that. It's not something that I would ever use, but it's there if that's something you might be interested in, or if it's a deal breaker. Just want to make you aware of it. Now guys, what I've been shooting all week is this Blazer Brass 115 grain full metal jacket. I've shot 350 to 400 rounds between the two pistols. I only had one malfunction, and that wasn't like a terribly, you know, a severe malfunction. It was just what happened. I mentioned that the 12th round is really tough to get in that new magazine. So I put the magazine in, racked the slide, and it didn't go all the way into battery. I just bumped it and it went on. Now I've been trying to get it to do that today so I could get it on camera. Been unsuccessful. Both of these guns have been very, very reliable. That was the only bobble that I had, but I do want to mention it. And I also wanted to mention this is the only ammo that I've shot through it. I'm not saying that this thing's going to run, you know, with any ammo. A lot of guns are picky with ammo. It does like this target stuff, this Blazer Brass stuff. Both of them do. And I do want to mention, talking about the target ammo, these guns are not rated for plus P. So if you like shoot plus P ammo, I don't hardly ever shoot plus P 9mm unless I'm doing some kind of a test or something for you guys. But if you do shoot plus P, you know, probably don't want to look at this one. Now, I've told you guys plenty of times in the past, I'm by no means a speed shooter or anything. I'll try to pull a couple double taps off on here. Those first two targets are at 10 yards. That single is at 15. And then the ones on the backstop there are at 20. I know sometimes the GoPro distorts distance, makes things look farther off than they actually are, so did want to mention that. All right, I was picking my stuff up, get ready to pack it in. It's starting to rain. I found 4 more cartridges. Might as well go ahead and burn them. I am at 40 yards to that larger target there in the back. This is actually my 40-yard pin. So this is a measured 40 yards. Let's see if I can hit that larger target at 40 yards. This is Buffalo, and I'll talk with y'all again soon.